to go all in on that thing. And when you have a backup plan, you're telling yourself that this probably isn't going to work.
I got my energy back, yeah. I'm on that frequency, mentally, spiritually, elevating, yeah, to my core.
What's good, my frequency family? I'm Ella the Elevated. Welcome back to my channel. This is my platform where I'm giving you the formula on how to stop being the editor and become the author of your life story. So I hope you guys are doing well and you're having a wonderful week. I am feeling so much better. For those of you who watch all of my videos, all 20 of you, you'll see that like in the last two videos, I was struggling with my eyes. Like my sinuses had me going bananas. Like I was gagging from the discomfort. And I am feeling like 95% better. I can see again. Thank you, Lord. Like I was so afraid that whatever was going on with my eyes was going to be permanent. I started looking up LASIK. I started like getting comfortable and getting used to saying like, okay, I can't see. I can't see anymore. Like something's going on with my eyes. And I realized something that, you know, people who are born either with limited eyesight or born blind, what's worse than being born without sight is having your sight and not having a vision. So as my eyes were like going nuts, I'm like, okay, calm down, LA, because even if something does go wrong with your eyes and this is a permanent thing, like you still have a vision. So just keep going and push through it. And I'm telling you, when I started thinking that way, it began to clear up. So thank you to everybody. I had a couple people who reached out and prayed for me. Thank you so much. Love that. But today we're going to talk about, like the title of the video says, letting go of your backup plan. Because I think that our backup plan, well, at least for me, I think that having a backup plan is holding me back. I'm going to say that again. My backup plan is holding me back. And here's why. If you have a backup plan, so say that you're manifesting something in your life, you're believing that this YouTube channel, this content creation thing is going to blow up for you, or starting this new business is going to blow up for you, then you need to go all in on that thing. And when you have a backup plan, you're telling yourself that this probably isn't going to work. And that's the total opposite of what we need to be doing. Like when you're praying for something and you're manifesting for something and you're asking God for something, what does it say? Live in the wish fulfilled. Pray for it and then move forth as if it is so. You're not moving forward as if it's so if you're developing a backup plan. You're saying, I might fail. I think I'm going to fail. And I found for me that I was kind of torn in between working on my primary plan and then working on my backup plan. And it was sending mixed signals out to the universe and out to God as to what I really wanted. Because for me, my backup plan got to be solid. It's got to be tight. So I'm spending a lot of time on this what if plan. And when you're manifesting something, you want to be very clear. I've talked about this in other videos. You want to be very clear. You want to send like strong signals of faith, knowing that this is about to happen for you. It's here, it's now, it's coming. And you can't do that if you're working on a backup plan. So I want to ask you guys to do what I did and rip up your backup plan. Rip up your backup plan and fully commit to your dream, to what you have been told is your destiny. Fully commit to that thing and just give it a time frame, right? Like say, I'm going to fully commit to this for a year. I'm going to fully commit to this content creation thing for 1 year. Or I'm going to fully commit to trying to get this business started for 1 year. Whatever it is, commit to it for a period of time. And then if it doesn't work and you want to start looking into something else, cool. But this duality of reality of what you really want to be and where you're really going, it's not working. It's not really shaking out for me. And I'm thinking that I can't go one way or the other because I'm stuck in the middle of which one is it going to be, which one is going to turn out, which one is going to show up, which one is going to manifest first. You know, I'll take either one. It doesn't matter. Like, whichever one shows up first, that's the one I'm going to take. That's not the mindset you have to have. If you are committed, you got to commit. You have to just commit 100% and trust in yourself, trust in God, and know that He's steering me along this path for a reason, and I'm going to go ahead and follow this path. And you're wise enough, you're clever enough, you're resourceful enough that if something goes wrong, you can pivot. Right? You can pivot, you can figure it out. You got your degrees to fall back on or family members to fall back on. So you'll be okay. You know that that's there, but don't think about that and ponder on that what if part all the time or every day or consistently. Focus ahead, like I'm moving ahead. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going to land, but I know I'm not going to be where I was, right? I know I'm going to be a few steps ahead. I know I'm going to fall forward and I'm going to be ahead of where I was before, and along the way I'm going to learn things, right? And then I'm going to take those things and I'm going to adjust, and I'm going to see, okay, what do I need to do differently so I can get to the next step and the next step. And that's how we continue to move forward. A lot of us have this backup plan as a crutch, and I think it's actually holding us back. I really do believe that this backup plan is holding us back, and you need to rip it up and just commit to whatever it is that has been put into your spirit as what you should do, what your purpose is, how you're going to get this thing done, and go for it. Just go all in for it. You know what I'm saying? When you don't commit, you're constantly going back and forth. You're constantly swaying, and you might wake up one day, and if things aren't going your way, you're not seeing the results that you want to see, then you'll kind of lean more towards the backup plan. Like, you know what, this isn't going the same way. So for example, with this content creation thing, starting this YouTube channel, if I wake up and I see like, oh, that video didn't get that many views, so maybe I'll just stop the YouTube channel and I'll start, you know, maybe I'll stop talking about manifestation and I'll start talking about whatever, cooking or travel. Like, give up on my dream and my purpose and what is something that I feel passionate about, and let me talk about something else just so I can get the views. It doesn't work that way. If you have a vision of what your message should be, then you need to go for that mission nonstop. You know what I mean? Like, don't just throw your vision away just because things aren't revealing themselves to you in the time frame of what you would like them to be. Yes, it's disappointing to wake up and see that your video only got 10 views. I mean, it's not a joke, but it's funny sometimes. Like, but that's not gonna make me stop making these videos for you guys. That's not gonna make me stop uploading these videos once a week. Even if I'm only talking to one person out there, I'm still gonna get up and upload these videos because one, it makes me feel good. Two, I feel like this is my purpose. This is something that I want to explore and share with people, and you got to do this with the same energy, whether you got 1 view or 1 million views, right? And in due time, if it's meant, more people will come, more people will see it. So you can't let the response from other people or the response from the world be your motivation. Your motivation has to come from within. If this is something that you feel passionate about, then you have to do it. If you build it, they will come. And let me tell you about that. I've been thinking about like all the things that I want to do in life, right? And I kept saying that to myself, like, if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. So just build, LA, just build. And I was watching one of the people that I follow for news. Oh my gosh, it's hot. I was watching one of the people that I follow for news, and he said that phrase, synchronicities. If you didn't watch my last video about synchronicities, when a phrase that you keep thinking about and then you hear somebody else say it to affirm, like, yep, you're right. That's the right mindset to have. I kept saying, if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. And then I turned on my news station on YouTube, and he said, if you build it, they will come. Out of the blue. I don't even know if that phrase fit in the context of what he was talking about. I just heard the phrase and it just kind of made me like pause. You know what I mean? Like I lost my breath a little bit. Like it caught me because I had been saying that over and over and over to motivate myself. So I say all that to say, if you have a dream, if you have a vision, that vision has been given to you for a reason. Follow that vision. Don't get deterred by what the world is or isn't doing, or the response that the world is or isn't giving to you. Like, be happy. And I am so happy every time I upload my video. And again, when I look at it and it doesn't have that many views, yes, that's disappointing. But every single time I upload my videos, I'm telling myself, this gonna be the one that goes viral. This gonna be the one that, you know, breaks the internet. Knowing that that's unlikely, but it doesn't matter. Deep down inside, I know that as long as this message reaches at least one person, then my job was done. And I'm okay with that. Okay? Right? I'm okay with that. So you got to let your backup plan go. You really do. You got to let that backup plan go, because that backup plan is holding you back. Now, there are times where you need a backup plan. Okay, I'm saying let your backup plan go when it comes to betting on yourself. If you believe in yourself, then go ahead and do that thing, and you don't need a backup plan, because I'm gonna make this thing happen at all costs. Now, a situation where you may need a backup plan, say like if you're in a new relationship and you guys are ready to take this relationship to the next level, and this guy asks you to move in with them, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna move in with you. I'm gonna rent my house out, or whatever, you know, and we're gonna co-mingle and cohabitate, and we're gonna be together. I'm gonna have a backup plan in that scenario, because I don't know this joker like that. Yeah, we've been dating, and every time you come over here, you shitty sharp, and you're taking me to nice restaurants and everything, but I don't really know the intricate details of how you manage your money. So when I get into this house with you, I can find out that you have horrible, you know, financial planning skills, and you put us in a bad situation where we could end up being homeless. So yes, I might say, I'm not going to sell my house, I'm going to keep it, and I'll rent it out, so that way I can take it back and live in it if I need to. Or I'm going to keep a certain amount of money in the bank, so that if you're a horrible planner and you put us in a bad situation, especially if you have kids, I got to have a place for me and my kids to go, right? So in that situation, you're depending on another person. Maybe you need a backup plan because you don't know that person. But when you're depending on yourself and you're depending on God, why do you need a backup plan? You believe in yourself, right? You believe in God, right? So why are you doubting yourself? Why are you doubting God like this can't be done? You see the difference? So if it has something to do with another person, then okay, you got to be careful. You got to move with caution. But when you're betting on yourself and it's something that God has spoken to you, then go all in for it. Like, we get discouraged when things don't come together in a certain amount of time, or like I said, we're not getting the feedback and the positive reinforcements that we want, and we just want to quit. Like, don't quit. Stop quitting, because right on the other side of that doubt, of that fear, of that stutter is your breakthrough. That's your viral moment. If you just push past, you know, a lot of times we stop prematurely before we're able to actually realize the benefits and the rewards of everything that you've been working towards. So you got to learn to keep going. Right when you feel like you want to give up, try one more time. Okay, right when you feel like you want to give up and you want to quit and it's just not working, like, just try one more time. Try a couple more times and just see. And I'm telling you, it's going to reveal to you that, like, yes, you were on the right path all along. But we quit prematurely. We go looking for that plan B, and we miss out on the opportunity to really realize our true meaning, our true purpose, our true talents, right? And so I'm all in. I'm not giving up on this content creation, on my YouTube channel, and everything else that I'm working with. I'm all in, and I want to encourage you guys to go all in on yourself, because I feel like this is a season right now where God is talking to a lot of us. He's telling us that, like, now, move now, like, try now, do it now. You thought about it, but do it again, you know? And I'm just saying, like, move on that. Move on that spirit and just see what happens. I'm telling you, he's not going to leave you in a place where you just totally messed up. He's not going to do that. He's going to make sure that thing turns out. It might move slow, but you're going to constantly be learning along the way. So it still benefits to going through that process. And another thing is, like, we always would say, like, hope for the best but prepare for the worst. Stop saying that. I know I always used to say that. I wanted to be prepared for the very worst outcome that could happen. So no matter how this goes, I'm going to be all right. I got this safety net. I know I'm going to be all right. But when you say prepare for the worst, I'm hoping for the best, but prepare for the worst. When you prepare for the worst, you're saying, hey, this is going to happen. You want to tell yourself that, like, that's not happening. Period. That's not happening. I'm not going to prepare for the worst. I'm not going to expect the worst. Hope for the best, but expect the worst, or whatever that is. I'm not expecting the worst. I'm not expecting disappointment. I'm not, like, I accept disappointment, but I don't expect disappointment. You see what I'm saying? If and when it comes, I'll accept it and I'll learn from it. I'll see, how is this building my strength, my tenacity, you know, my resilience, my courage. I'll accept it as it comes, but I'm not going to expect it and prepare for it. Because when you prepare for it, you're inviting it into your life. You're inviting it to you. You're saying, yeah, I know it's coming. I'm just watching for it, you know, to hit that corner. I know it's coming. No, expect for the best. Pray for the best and expect the best. Ask for the best and know that you deserve the best. You know, expect to win. We're especially, like, for me, coming from a background of not having much, you know, growing up in the projects and stuff, you always have this feeling of, like, I'm never going back to being broke. Like, that's dead. Like, I'm never going back to being broke. I'm never going back to being homeless. I'm never going back to da 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 da. Okay, but you gotta trust and know that God's not gonna put you back into that situation. He's gonna take care of you. He's gonna provide all your needs. He's gonna make sure that you're covered. He's gonna make sure that you're safe. He's gonna make sure you got food, you got shelter, so you don't have to walk around worrying about, you know, I gotta expect the worst. I gotta prepare for the worst. Like, no, you don't have to prepare for the worst. I'm not expecting the worst. I'm not prepared for the worst. I'm expecting the best. I'm prepared for the best. And I demand the best because I deserve the best. I deserve to win. That's the mentality that we have to develop within ourselves. And I think that why we're not getting ahead and we're not getting the things that we want out of life is because we got this limiting belief in the back of our mind. We got to let go of those limiting beliefs. We got to let go of all of those limiting beliefs and just be like, no, that's not who I am no more. I'm a winner, period. I'm a survivor. I'm a winner. I'm prosperous. I'm abundance. I'm this, I'm that. And walk around in your gratitude attitude, thanking God in advance for what you already prayed for. It's here. It's mine. Now, in that same vein, I've talked about these limiting beliefs. These beliefs of, like, can I do it? I don't know. Am I strong enough? Am I smart enough? Am I pretty enough? Let go of these limiting beliefs. And in order to do that, you're going to have to do a big thing. You're going to have to forgive yourself. You're going to have to forgive yourself because we're still carrying around the trauma, the embarrassment, the disappointment of mistakes that we made, of decisions that we made that weren't really, you know, the best decisions. Let's just call it what it is. They were stupid decisions or whatever. And we're still carrying around that doubt and that shame of those decisions that we made. And we're tying that to the person that we are today. I made bad decisions. Okay, and I'm not that person anymore. I can make different decisions. And it's not that I'm flip-flopping, it's that I've grown. I have new knowledge, I have new desires, I have a new direction, so I'm going to make different decisions. I don't have to walk around and carry the shame and the guilt and, you know what I mean? Like the disappointment of decisions that I've made in the past and think that those are the decisions that I'm going to make moving forward. Right? I did it. It's done. Like, okay, I'm not about to be ashamed of any of that stuff. I did it. And I can look back and I can look at the lessons that I've learned. And if you have people who are trying to keep you tied to those bad decisions that you made, that person that you was back in the day, you're going to have to let those people go. I've had to let go of relationships because people couldn't see me as the woman that I am today. They kept trying to pull me back into this person that I was at 25. Like, I'm not her anymore. And if every time we have a conversation, you want to remind me of something that my 25-year-old self did, when I'm trying to talk about what my $1 million self is doing, I'm going to have to let you go. Because I'm not going to keep defending those decisions. It happened. It's done. You know what I mean? So if you have friends, ex-lovers, even family members that cannot see past who you used to be, and I know you got like that friend, that person that just keeps reminding you of a decision, a poor decision that you made, and they just won't let it go. You cannot talk to this person for a year, and when you guys like reconnect, the first thing they're going to bring up is that dumb decision you made. Like, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. We talked about it. We kikied about it. We laughed about it. It's over. It's done. There's so much more going on in my life. And if you can't see me for the person that I am today, you're not going to have a space in my universe right now. You're not going to have a space here because there's no space for that. There's no space for that experience in my current reality. There just isn't. I don't want to dwell on it anymore. It's not uplifting me. It's not, I learned the lesson. I've corrected, and that's it. I'll give you an example. Like, I've had several pets. I've tried several pets and I didn't do very well with them. I've had a couple dogs. I've had a couple cats. I've had some turtles, some fish. They all died. Like, I just didn't do well with them. So, when I moved to Georgia, I had been here for maybe about a year and a half. And I came here by myself. My children stayed back home in Michigan. My daughter's here now. She's married. But when I first came here, I came by myself. No family, nothing. I had one cousin here. That was it. So after about a year and a half, I said, I want a companion. And I said, I'm going to get a cat. And I pondered on this for a very long time because I'm like, I don't want to get up and walk a dog. I don't want to put puppy pads down. I'm not a morning person. So I'm not going to be happy when this dog is barking, wanting to go out in the morning to go pee and poop. So I'm going to do a cat. Okay. I didn't want to do a fish because with the fish, you still got to change the water and stuff. I didn't want to deal with all that. So I'm like, I'm going to do a cat again. And I wanted a really pretty cat because they go to their litter box. They pretty much stay to themselves, but it would have, some other energy around the house, and that would be my little buddy. When I told people that I wanted a cat, especially my daughter, don't get a pet. You did so horrible with pets. Like, you're not good with pets. Don't get a pet. And I'm like, listen, that was how many years ago? I'm telling you that now where I am today, I want a cat. I have thought about it. I'm not making a rash decision. I'm going to get a cat. So I go and I actually flew back home to Michigan and I bought this beautiful Persian all white cat. Everybody got something to say about me buying this cat. I've had Bella now for 3 years and that's my buddy, right? So when you know that you've moved past a certain space and people just can't see who you are today, they can't see the growth, they can't see the change, the transformation, and they're still thinking about what you did before, that's valid because that's what they know, that's what they've seen. But what you need is to be surrounded by people who are more concerned about what you say out of your mouth and not what you did in the past. And you do have to garner that respect. You can't be a person who's talking out of both sides of your neck, because then they're going to be like, okay, I don't believe anything that comes out of this girl's mouth. She just say whatever sounds good for the moment and she does the exact opposite. But I'm not that person. When I say something, I mean it. Okay? When I say something, I mean it. I know myself. I know if I'm ready for a pet or not. Right? And as you get older, this is something that people need to understand, is that you're constantly growing and evolving and seeing the world differently, and you're taking in your experiences and your lessons. And if you make a decision to go get another pet or get into another relationship, the people around you who you call your friends, your circle, your tribe, they need to understand and trust that you have considered all options, all outcomes, and you're making the best decision that's good for you today. And they need to support that. If they're constantly going to pull you back and remind you of what you did last time you had a pet, what you did last time you moved in with somebody, what you did last time, like, that's not helping you. Okay, so all I'm saying is you might have to let some people go if they can't let it go. Because if I've let it go, if I've moved on, if I've forgiven myself, if I've grown from the experience, then why can't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, let it go. Leave it alone. So I'm going to go off topic for a minute. I was talking to, so my last video that I uploaded, I actually inserted clips and everything into that one. I didn't know how to do it, but I figured it out. It wasn't that hard. And it was about the Nature Boy story. I also mentioned the Risa Tessa, still can't remember her name, but that girl, and the Amber and Lucas story. And a friend of mine watched the video and she saw the thumbnail that said Nature Boy. So she clicked on it and she's like, what you know about Nature Boy? I'm like, I don't know anything about him. I just, you know, found the story, stumbled upon it, watched it, whatever. So she was like, I know something about Nature Boy. She actually lived in the subdivision and Nature Boy moved in like next door, or like, you know, in that subdivision. I think she lived in a cul-de-sac, and Nature Boy and his whole cult, like 15 to 20 people, moved like a house or two over from her. So she saw firsthand all of this drama that was going on in this cult, like the police being called, hearing the chaos and people having fights and the girls getting put out, sitting on the porch with, you know, their bag, their clothes in a Publix bag, like with nowhere to go. Like, she saw this firsthand. So when she saw my story on it, my video that I did on it, she didn't even know that he had gone to prison and gotten a life sentence. So I'm like, yeah, I did a little story on it that had to do with synchronicities, but it was just interesting to run into someone here in Georgia who had lived through watching that, you know? It was kind of crazy, but yeah, she was like, yeah, that was a crazy time. Like, it was just chaos, you know? So, man, yeah, we got into a whole conversation about all, like, the things that she had saw, and I wasn't even here. I don't think I was here. I don't know. I might have been in Georgia when that was going on, because I've been here for almost 5 years, and he'd been in prison for, I think, 2. So I might have been here, but I know he's been in and out of Georgia, right? They were like all over the globe, in and out of the country. So I don't know, but it was just crazy that she saw that thumbnail and was like, yeah, girl, like, I remember when they were living in my cul-de-sac and they outside in the yard sleeping and fighting and all sleeping. It was crazy. But yeah, go back and watch my video on synchronicities, signs that God sends you if you haven't watched it already. It's a pretty good video. And yeah, I just want to encourage you guys to believe in yourself, trust in yourself. There's going to be bumps along the way. That is happening. Nothing you can do about it. You got to embrace those bumps and just keep going. Step over them, walk through them, whatever you got to do, but don't deter yourself from the path that you're on because you run into roadblocks. So you run into, you know, uncertainties. You got to embrace those uncertainties and not go run into your backup plan. If you just hold on and you keep going, I'm telling you, you're going to end up somewhere. You're going to end up somewhere. And you'll never know unless you keep going. And the only thing that you're doing by keep going back to your backup plan or stopping altogether is you're just delaying. You're delaying the process, right? How many people do you know who they keep on saying they want to go to college and they want to get a degree in something? So they enroll in college, and I talk to them 6 months later. Hey girl, how you doing? How's school going? How are your classes coming along? Girl, I had to take a break, child. I had to take a break. And I'm like, why? They got every reason in the book. The kids, the job, the this, the that, the amount of money. And it's like, push through it. If that was put in your spirit to go get this degree, to do XYZ, you're delaying your process, you're delaying the progress of getting to that ultimate finish line because you keep stopping along the way. You gotta stop stopping, and you gotta learn to keep going. And it's so funny to me because I know people who it's taken them 10 years to get a 4-year degree. You know, every time you call them, they're like, oh, I took a break for this, I took a break for that, yada, yada, yada. And there's some times where you really do need to take a break. Something's going on in life, whatever. But they keep taking these breaks. And then when I call them and they say they took a break, then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, leave it alone. That's on you, right? And then New Year come around and it's like, girl, you know what, for New Year, my New Year's resolution is to finish that degree. There's just only so many times that I can get excited for you for restarting the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I try, but it's just hard to be like, oh my gosh, really? It's like, it's nothing new. Like, that should have been done, really. So, you know, whatever. But stop stopping. Just keep going. I went through school and got, you know, all of my degrees, like 3 different degrees, having a kid, having 2 kids, plus working a full-time job and going through an internship for one of the degrees that I was getting. And then my mother died while I was in my master program, still kept my classes. Like, I started a class, one of my master classes started the day after my mother's funeral. And the teacher was like, when I told her, like, look, I'm gonna be late, but I'm gonna be there, she was like, are you sure? And I told her why I was gonna be late. She was like, are you sure? Do you want to just, you know, enroll in the next class? I'm like, no, I kind of want to finish this degree, you know. So my mother died in February of 2012, and I graduated in, I think, 2013. I think June of 2013. But had I stopped and taken a year off or whatever, that probably would have been 2014, 2015. I didn't want to wait. Like, no, I still believe that this is important for me. And I used that degree. It was a master's in HR. I work in HR right now. I wanted to get all the way into HR. So I kept going. So that's an extreme example. You know, to lose your mother, that's a valid reason to stop. But when you are sure, when you are certain about what you're doing, when you're betting on yourself, you keep going against everything. I'm not going to bring my mother back. Why am I going to stop and delay the things that I'm trying to manifest in my life? And it's not being mean or rude or, you know, not having empathy or sympathy or grieving. I grieved. I did all of that. I had plenty of time to do that. But going to school and doing my schoolwork actually took my mind off of the sadness and the grief. And had I not had that to concentrate and to focus on, I might have sunk into a deep depression, you know? So don't find any little excuse or any big excuse to stop along, to pause your journey. Don't use them. Like, if you have to stop, okay, stop. But if you can keep going, keep going. If you can keep going, keep going. And I had teachers that I think, like, for the first 2 or 3 classes after my mother passed, I told my instructors straight up, I told my professors, like, my head might not be all the way in the game, but I'm here. And they gave me grace. You know, I still did the work, I still learned, but they gave me grace. Like, if I was a little bit late on my assignment or I'm sitting in class and I'm dazing off, they gave me grace, but I still got through it. So, you know, just bet on you, guys. Bet on you. This is your season. I hear God saying to bet on you, to go all in, and stop doubting yourself. Stop sending these mixed signals to the universe and to God about what you want your blessings to be. Be very, I've told you before, like in my earlier videos, like, be specific, be intentional about what you want out of life, and take inspired action. You have to take action. You can think about all day what you want to be and how great you're going to be, but nothing is going to change until you take action. right? God can open the doors for you. He can align the opportunities. He can put the people in the right place so you meet them at the right time. But you are not going to meet that person until you take action. You have to take action, right? So I just wanted to encourage you guys to tear up your backup plan. As scary as that sounds, tear up your backup plan. Tear up your backup plan for a year and just dedicate yourself to this one thing for 1 year. And then if things aren't going so well, then, you know, maybe you want to pivot, maybe you want to do something different, but dedicate yourself full on, no holds barred, all in for a year. That's where I'm at. I am all in on this channel. These videos are going up every Thursday for at least a year. Now, if I'm still getting 20 views per video after a year, I'm still not gonna stop. I'm still not gonna stop because I follow so many channels who talk about the same thing that I'm talking about. So I know that there's a community and there are people out here who are on this same journey as me. They just haven't found me. They don't know me. They don't know LA the Elevated. So there's maybe, okay, after a year, or not after a year, maybe sooner than a year, I need to take steps to put myself out there. I need to join groups. The YouTube studio for YouTube creators, it has so many metrics and things where you can see like what topics are trending and what you should name your videos and what people are searching and how to create your thumbnails to make them more attractive. Those are things that I could be doing to say, okay, maybe if I do this, then it'll get better. So do little things along the way to see if you can improve, to see if you can improve the situations, to see if you can boost your sales or boost your visibility, whatever. But go all in on it and then see whether it's for you or not. We keep stopping, and I'm telling you, right on the other side, if you just push a little further, I'm telling you that breakthrough is right on the side. That breakthrough is right on the other side of that door. It's right on the other side of that stopping point. Like, just go a little further. And so that way you don't ever have to wonder, like, what if I would have kept going? You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, like, 99% of the things that I start, I finish, right? So just try to finish the things that you start. Let go of your limiting beliefs. Let go of the things that no longer serve you. Forgive yourself. If you've done some things, so what? I'm not going to keep, you know, harping on myself or feeling bad about myself or holding a grudge against myself because I've made mistakes in the past. So what? Because that presentation sucked, or because, you know what I mean? Like, you got to let that stuff go. I learned from it. Okay, whatever. Do not expect the worst. We are expecting miracles over here, baby. We are expecting blessings. We are expecting abundance. We are expecting to win. We are not expecting to fail over here. Okay? And even if it doesn't turn out the way that we imagine, it's going to turn out better, because that's typically how it goes. It always turns out better than what you thought. You know what I mean? So believe in yourself, trust in yourself. You've got this. I keep telling you guys, you've got this. But I hate to see people stop. And I try to encourage you guys with this channel in my real life. When I meet people, I try to encourage people and just say, okay, keep going, girl. You know, you got it. If you want to lose weight, or, you know, start that business or start that channel or whatever, like, keep going. You got it. It's only so much other people can do for you. You got to feel it in yourself. You got to believe it for yourself. So believe it. You've got it. This is our season. So let's go, Frequency family. Let's go. I'm here with you. I told you I am the example. I'm working on so many things, and I keep saying that, but I just can't reveal it all because real chicks move in silence. So I want to move in silence until I'm ready to reveal it to you guys. But I am running up against so many roadblocks. My phone is going off right now with more things that I gotta figure out and I gotta do, but I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. I'm learning from it. It's an experience, and I'm embracing it. Like, okay, whatever. But do not stop. Whatever you do, God wants to bless you. And you need to just open yourself up to receive that blessing. Do your part. He's doing his part. Don't sit around waiting on him. Move. You need action. A thing in motion stays in motion. You got to keep moving. You have to keep moving. So I just want to encourage you guys to keep moving. We don't want to stay here. We do not want to stay here and be in this same place. 2025 is coming up in a matter of months. Let's go. Like, whether we don't know which president we're going to have, but no matter what happens, listen, we're going to have to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are going to change one way or the other. And you got to ask yourself, where are you going to be? What are you going to be doing? You know? So make that decision for yourself. Throw away the plan B and let's go. Lift your head up, stick your chest out, put your foot down and move, because that does it for me. So do it for you.